Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB, a daily dose of insights into blockchain, cryptocurrencies, and beyond blockchain technology as well. Now, in today's episode, guys, we are diving into a fascinating and vital topic for the future of Bitcoin, and that is Lightning Network. And in this episode, guys, I will break down the complexities of Lightning Network into simple, easy to understand concepts. Firstly, guys, let's explore what Lightning Network is and why it was developed in the first place, so you would learn about its potential to address Bitcoin scalability issues, enabling faster and cheaper transactions. Next, guys, I will delve into the core principles that underpin the Lightning Network, such as payment channels and also HTLCs, that is called as hash time lock contracts. Now, these concepts, guys, might sound technical, but what I'll try to do is I'll try to explain them in a way that makes it extremely easy for you to understand. Now look, guys, even if you're new to the cryptocurrency world, you don't need to be worried about it. I'll try to explain it at a very basic level so you will understand how payment channel works to allow multiple transactions off-chain, thereby reducing the load of Bitcoin blockchain. We will then, guys, discuss the role of hash time lock contracts in securing these transactions, thereby ensuring that funds are transferred safely and efficiently. Moving forward, guys, I'll take a deep dive into the architecture of Lightning Network, discussing how nodes operate and interact with each other, and what roles they play in ensuring the network's efficiency and security. And I'll also go and touch base on how Lightning Network fits into the broader Bitcoin ecosystem and the potential impact it could have on the future of digital currencies. We will take a deep dive into real-world applications and current implementations, demonstrating how this technology is already facilitating microtransactions and other use cases that require high-speed and low-cost transfers. Now look, guys, all this thing being said, Lightning Network, at least at this point of time, is not perfect. So what I'll do is I'll go and touch base on the challenges and future prospects of Lightning Network, giving you guys a well-rounded understanding of both its current state as well as its potential evolution. And by the end of this episode, guys, you will have a comprehensive understanding of Lightning Network, its importance in the Bitcoin system, and how it could shape the future of digital transactions. So look, guys, whether you're a seasoned crypto enthusiast or just starting your journey, stay tuned for an enlightening and informed discussion regarding Lightning Network. Now, before we go ahead and kickstart this episode, guys, I do have an important message, so check this out. Thank you to our sponsors for being part of the Blockchain DXB journey. Firstly, Advanced Media. Advanced Media, guys, is the largest distributor of professional video, photo, broadcast and cinematic equipment and accessories in the Middle East and MENA region. With over 2 decades of experience, Advanced Media is now the largest distributor in the Middle East, representing more than 100 recognizable brands, including brands such as Zeiss, DJI, Hasselblad, Red and Rode. As a matter of fact, guys, the very mic that I'm recording is being sponsored by Advanced Media as well, and Advanced Media has showrooms in Saudi Arabia and services as well. Looks like they're definitely taking the Middle East by storm. And here's the beautiful thing, guys, they're taking corporate social responsibility very seriously, and they're focusing on 3 P's, that is people, planet and prosperity. Now listen, guys, if you do want to find out more information regarding the statement of corporate social responsibility, check out the website, that is www.amt.tv. And here's the beautiful thing, guys, they also want to be a leader and set an example and reputation as a pioneer and member of the community. And in doing so, guys, they also have an AMT scholarship with SAE Institute in Dubai, UAE, so definitely check it out. And also, guys, Advanced Media is committed to persistently developing, organizing and hosting training workshops, seminars and community events that educate, inform and familiarize consumers with new equipment and the latest technological advances. So listen, guys, do one thing. If you do want to support this channel, go to the website, that is www.amt.tv, and follow the social media channels as well. All of the details are in the show notes below. Next, Startup OI is global one-tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen, guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform and search for Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast. And finally, guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now, in today's episode, guys, I want to go and touch base on the Lightning Network. Because look, so far as Bitcoin is concerned, there are quite a lot of things you can do. You have Lightning Network, you have Liquid Network, you have ordinal inscriptions, you have runes, quite a lot of other things. Now look, guys, if you truly understand how Bitcoin works, and if you're a Bitcoin maximalist, you can also say that Lightning Network is probably the biggest innovation. And you can also make the argument, guys, that Lightning Network, not blockchain, is the next evolution. So what I want to do is, I want to go ahead and give out more information regarding Lightning Network. Now in today's episode, guys, I'll give you the overview of Lightning Network, what problem it solves, the history and development, the technical foundation, the payment channels and how Lightning Network works, the network structure, and I'll also go ahead and touch base on current use cases as well. I'll go ahead and touch base on how the Lightning Network actually works. So I'll go ahead and touch base on establishing payment channels, how does funding a channel work, the transaction routing fees and incentives, the fee structure, smart contracts and security, and I'll also go ahead and touch base on probably the most important thing so far as Lightning Network is concerned, that is HDLC, that is hash time log contracts, because I'll also go ahead and touch base on pre-image and hash logs, and I'll also go ahead and touch base on how you close a channel as well. I'll go ahead and explore the advantages and challenges of Lightning Network, so we'll go ahead and touch base on scalability, speed, low fees, and I'll also go ahead and share some challenges, guys, because look, liquidity management is a massive challenge so far as Lightning Network is concerned, isn't it? We'll also go ahead and touch base on the complexities, routing issues, security concerns and network attacks as well. And finally, guys, I'll go ahead and touch base on the future of Lightning Network, so we'll touch base on technological developments, AMPs, that is automatic multi-path payments, watchtowers, dual funded channels and splicing. I'll also go ahead and touch base on adoption and integration, and how merchants actually adopting Lightning Network. And finally, guys, I'll go ahead and touch base on wallet and platform support, and also go ahead and touch base on regulatory environment. Now look, guys, if you do need any further consultation, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Now look, guys, so far as Lightning Network is concerned, you can make an argument that Lightning Network, not blockchain, is probably the next evolution so far as cryptocurrency space is concerned. Now look, that is because Lightning Network, guys, is a revolutionary layer to scaling solutions for Bitcoin. So let me go ahead and touch base on the purpose of Lightning Network. Now so far as Lightning Network is concerned, guys, it aims to address Bitcoin scalability issues. So let me go ahead and break it down as to why it is crucial. Because look, guys, Bitcoin's transaction capacity is limited due to its block size and block time constraints, isn't it? So I want to go ahead and very briefly touch base on 3 areas, guys. That is block size, block time and resulting issues. Now so far as block size is concerned, each block in Bitcoin blockchain has a limited size, which restricts the number of transactions it can hold, and new blocks, guys, are added approximately every 10 minutes, meaning there's a cap on how many transactions can be processed in a given time frame, isn't it? Now this limitation leads to higher fees and slower transaction confirmation, especially during times of high demand, making Bitcoin less practical for everyday use. Now look, as if you know, after the Bitcoin halving, runes has been implemented on Bitcoin blockchain as well, and we also have ordinal inscription, isn't it? So there's quite a lot of chaos going on so far as Bitcoin blockchain is concerned. Now what is it that Lightning Network aims to solve, guys? Lightning Network, guys, it aims to move transactions off chain, making them faster and cheaper, and transactions, guys, on Lightning Network occur off the main blockchain, thereby reducing the load and allowing for virtual instantaneous payment. And Lightning Network, guys, also supports small value transactions that are extremely impractical on the main chain due to high fees, isn't it? Now let me do one thing, guys. Let me go ahead and touch base on the history of Lightning Network, because understanding the history of Lightning Network does give us an insight into the development and significance, isn't it? Now so far as the white paper is concerned, the Lightning Network concept was introduced by Joseph Poon and Claudius Dreyer, and they did write a white paper in 2015, and the white paper proposed a way to enable fast, scalable Bitcoin transactions through off-chain payment channels. Now the idea was met with excitement as it promised to solve Bitcoin scalability issues without changing the underlying protocol. The Lightning Network, since then, has undergone significant development since its inception, and initial implementations began soon after the white paper was published, with developers working to build a practical, secure system. Now in 2018, guys, the Lightning Network's beta version was launched, marking a significant milestone in its development, and since then, Lightning Network has been steadily growing in both usage and infrastructure, with more nodes and channels being added simultaneously. Now look, guys, so far as Lightning Network is concerned, there are a couple of key principles. So let me do one thing, guys. Let me go ahead and touch base on some of the key principles of Lightning Network. So I want to go ahead and touch base on payment channel, opening a channel, conducting transactions, and finally closing a channel. Now so far as payment channels are concerned, at the core of Lightning Network are payment channels, which allow two parties to transact directly with each other off-chain. Now look, there are a couple of steps involved, and the first one is opening a channel. And to open a channel, guys, both parties deposit funds into a multi-signature address, and this transaction is recorded on the blockchain. Then, the second step is conducting the transactions. Now within the channel, guys, parties can transact freely and instantly, updating the balances without broadcasting the transactions to the blockchain. And finally, guys, the third step is closing a channel. Now when they decide to close the channel, guys, the final balance is recorded on the blockchain in a single transaction. The classic example I can think of is, guys, let's say the bar tab that we have. So let's say I go to a bar, I can open up a channel at the bar, I go ahead and deposit X number of Bitcoin, and the bar also goes and deposits X number of Bitcoin. Now once the channel is open, guys, I can do back and forth transaction, and then only after we go ahead and close the channel, and only after the channel is closed, those details gets recorded onto Bitcoin blockchain. Now let me go ahead and touch base on routing and network structure, because Lightning Network isn't just about two-party channels, guys. It's a network where payments can be routed to multiple nodes. So we have something called as multi-hop payments and also routing fees. Now so far as multi-hop payments is concerned, let's say if you want to pay someone without a direct channel, your payments can be routed to intermediary nodes, creating a path across networks. So let's say, guys, if I want to go ahead and pay to someone in Australia, so I don't necessarily have to be connected to the person in Australia. There might be different open channels, and then our transactions can take a hop across multiple channels, but there's also routing fees as well, isn't it? And nodes, guys, they charge small fees for forwarding payments, providing an incentive for them to participate in the network. Now comes the most important thing, guys, that is hash time lock contracts. Now look, guys, hash time lock contracts are a crucial security mechanism for Lightning Network, and the hash time lock contract, guys, create conditional payments that are only completed if specific conditions are met, ensuring security and preventing fraud. And these contracts, guys, use hash locks, which require cryptographic proofs, and also time locks, that is essentially like settling a deadline to go ahead and secure your transaction. Now look, guys, so far as Lightning Network is concerned, let me go ahead and very briefly touch base on the overview of Lightning Network architecture, because you have nodes, you have channels, and you have network topology as well. Now so far as nodes is concerned, nodes are the backbone of Lightning Network, isn't it? And they create, manage, and close payment channels, as well as route payments through the network. And there are different types of nodes, guys, including full nodes, which store the entire blockchain, and lightweight nodes, which don't store the entire blockchain. Now so far as channels is concerned, you can have private channels as well as public channels, and channels, guys, are conduit for transactions within the network. Now private channels, guys, are typically between two parties who regularly transact with each other. The classic example I can think of is, let's say, me going to a specific bar, and if I know the person who's handling the bar. Now, so far as public channel is concerned, guys, think of it, you're doing transactions via, let's say, Amazon, and you don't need to know who the middle person are, and there are multiple hops in between, isn't it? Now, public channels, guys, are open to routing payments further, thereby contributing to the network's liquidity and connectivity. Now, so far as network topology is concerned, guys, Lightning Network's topology influences its efficiency and reliability, and they have something called a mesh network. Now, widely speaking, guys, Lightning Network operates on a decentralized mesh network where multiple nodes are interconnected, thereby allowing for diverse routing options. However, guys, this has led to a lot of centralization concerns, as there is a risk of centralization if certain nodes become dominant routing hubs, which could undermine the network's decentralized nature. Now, so far security measures is concerned, guys, Lightning Network incorporates robust security measures to protect user frauds, and the multi-signature addresses ensures that fund can be spent only with the consent of both parties in the channel. Now look, similar to how we have oracles, guys, there's something completely different called as watchtowers. Now, third-party services that monitor the network for fraudulent activity. They add an extra layer of security. Now, what I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, try to understand what watchtowers are, so you get a better understanding of how they ensure that there is no fraudulent activity taking place. So that is some basic level information, guys, regarding Lightning Network. Now look, guys, if you do need any further consultation, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Now what I want to do next, guys, is I want to go ahead and touch base on how the Lightning Network works. So we'll go ahead and touch base on how you establish a payment channel, how do you fund a channel, what is transaction routing, the routing fees and incentives, the different fee structures. I'll also go ahead and touch base on smart contracts and security, and I'll also go ahead and touch base on probably one of the most important things regarding Lightning Network, that is HTLCs, that is hash time lock contracts, and I'll go ahead and touch base on pre-image and hash locks as well. And finally, guys, we'll go ahead and explore how do we go ahead and close the channel. Now look, guys, there is this very strong narrative among Bitcoin maximalists that Lightning Network, not blockchain, is the biggest innovation. Now look, guys, I partially agree to it, but at the same time I disagree to it as well. Because look, guys, Lightning Network is still lightning years away from mainstream adoption, isn't it? But I do feel, guys, it's truly important to understand that how Lightning Network actually works. So let's take a deep dive, guys, into how Lightning Network works, and I'll go ahead and touch base on some technical aspects that make it such a revolutionary solution for Bitcoin scalability issues. Now the first thing, guys, I want to touch base is regarding establishing payment channels. Now to establish the Lightning Network function, guys, we need to start with the concept of payment channels. So the big question, guys, is what exactly are payment channels and how do they work? Now the first step, guys, is opening a channel. Now opening a payment channel, guys, is like setting up a private ledger between two parties. So the process essentially involves two steps. The first one is fund a multi-signature wallet, and the second one is broadcast the opening transaction. Now so far as funding a multi-signature wallet is concerned, what happens, guys, is both parties agree to open a channel, and then they deposit a certain amount of Bitcoin into a multi-signature address. Now this address, guys, requires both parties to sign off on any transaction that spends the fund. Now the second step, guys, is to broadcast the open transaction. Now this initial funding transaction, guys, is recorded on Bitcoin blockchain, and this is the only time blockchain is involved until the channel is closed. Now let's discuss the next step, guys, that is conducting the transaction with the channel. And once the channel is open, the parties can conduct multiple transactions off-chain. The transactions within the channel are just updates to balance sheets that both parties keep. Now these updates at this point of time are not broadcasted to the blockchain. Now look, guys, there are certain instant benefits of Lightning Network, and since these transactions are off-chain, they are absolutely instant and occur no transaction fees except for the minor fees that is charged when they open and close the channel. Now the next step, guys, is closing the channel. Now here's the interesting thing to remember, guys. When the parties decide to close the channel, it's only then that the final state of the balance sheet is recorded on the blockchain, and it involves basically two steps, guys. The first one is signing the closing transaction, where both parties agree on the final balances and sign a closing transaction, and the second step is broadcast the closing transaction, and this transaction, guys, is then broadcasted to the Bitcoin blockchain, distributing the funds accordingly. Now let's go ahead and touch base on routing payments, guys, and one of the most fascinating aspects of Lightning Network is how payments are routed through a network of nodes, and there are a couple of things like multi-hop payments, forwarding payments, and HTLCs, that is hash time lock contracts. So let me go ahead and give out more information regarding this. Now, so far as multi-hop payments is concerned, let's say guys, if you don't have direct payment channel with someone, you can still pay them through a series of intermediary nodes, and this is known as multi-hop payments. Now what you need to do guys for that is, you need to go ahead and find a route. Now your Lightning Network software will find a path from your node to the recipient's node. Now this might involve several intermediary nodes, and this is guys where forwarding payments kicks in. And how it works guys is, each node along the path forwards the payment and charges a small fee for the service. Now you need to remember guys that these fees are minimal compared to on-chain transactions. Now let me go ahead and touch base on hash time lock contracts guys, and this is done to ensure security and reliability, and Lightning Network uses hash time lock contract. Now regarding HTLCs or hash time lock contracts, there are two things we need to remember guys. The first one is conditional payments, and the second one is hash lock and time locks. Now so far as conditional payments is concerned, HTLCs or hash time lock contracts create conditional payments that are only completed if certain conditions are met, and if the conditions are not met with specific time frame, the payment is cancelled and the funds are returned. Now so far as hash lock and time locks is concerned, hash time lock contracts involve hash locks which require recipients to provide a cryptographic proof, which is a pre-image, to go ahead and claim the payment, and also time locks guys, which specify a deadline by which the conditions must be met. Now here's the beautiful thing guys regarding Lightning Network. The atomic nature of Lightning Network payments means that either the payment succeeds or it completely fails, thereby ensuring security, and there is nothing called as partial payments. And with hash time lock contracts, there is absolutely no risk of partial payments, and the payment is either fully transferred or 100% refunded. Now this definitely helps in fraud prevention as well, and the use of hash time lock contracts and multi-signature addresses ensures that no party can unilaterally spend the funds, thereby preventing fraud and ensuring mutual agreement. Now let me go ahead and touch base on some of the security measures guys, because security is absolutely paramount in any financial system, isn't it? And Lightning Network is no exception. So let me go ahead and touch base on how Lightning Network ensures the best security measures are taking place, and there are a few areas I'd like to talk about guys. The first one is multi-signature addresses, the second one is watchtowers, and the third one is penalty mechanism. Now look guys, so far as multi-signature addresses is concerned, they require multiple parties to sign off for transactions, thereby preventing unilateral spending of funds. And there is also something called a co-signing requirement, where both parties in the channel must agree and sign any transaction that spends the funds in the channel. Now this definitely enhances security guys, because this requirement ensures that neither party can defraud the other by broadcasting an outdated channel state. Now guys, there's something called as watchtowers as well, and watchtowers are kind of like third parties that monitor the blockchain for fraudulent activities, thereby adding to added layer of security, and they do play the role of fraud detector and also offer user protection, isn't it? Now watchtowers guys watch for attempts to broadcast outdated channel states, and they can proactively prevent fraud, and by using watchtowers, users can enhance the security without having to constantly monitor their own channel. Now look guys, there is also penalty mechanism in place as well, and Lightning Network has built a penalty mechanism to deter and punish fraudulent behavior. Now it's really important to note guys that if a party tries to broadcast an old state of channel attempting to double spend, the other party can claim all the funds in the channel as a penalty. Now this is a definitely strong deterrent, and it ensures that both parties are incentivized to behave honestly, isn't it? Now look guys, so far as Lightning Network is concerned, it is definitely a brilliant idea, but as I mentioned earlier guys, Lightning Network is lightning years away from mainstream adoption. So what I want to do is guys, I want to go ahead and touch base on some of the potential challenges of Lightning Network, because while the Lightning Network offers many benefits, it also faces several challenges, and some of the challenges include liquidity management, routing efficiency, and also interoperability. Now so far as liquidity management is concerned, effective liquidity management is crucial for smooth function of the network, and ensuring that channels have sufficient funds to facilitate transaction is a constant challenge. Not only that guys, some nodes may become central routing hubs, potentially leading to centralization risks as well. Now so far as routing efficiency is concerned, finding efficient routes for payment is vital for network performance, and improving pathfinding algorithms to ensure reliable and fast transactions is still a complex task, and it's really important to manage network congestion and ensure scalability as the network grows. Now so far as interoperability is concerned guys, ensuring that Lightning networks work seamlessly with other networks and platforms is extremely essential, and we need to develop solutions for cross-chain transactions and interoperability with other blockchain networks as well. Now for this, we do require standardization, isn't it? And creating standardization protocols and interfaces to facilitate integration with various platforms and services is an extremely challenging task, but look guys, over time, I'm pretty much sure some of the developers will come up with innovative ideas. So look guys, so far as Lightning Network is concerned, we've looked at how we establish a payment channel, we've discussed routing payments, we've touched base on security measures, and also some of the potential challenges, isn't it? So let me know guys, what are your thoughts regarding Lightning Network? Now look guys, one of my good friends, that is Marcus Shantita, who I tend to go live on LinkedIn every Thursdays at 10 a.m. He's definitely not a big fan of Lightning Network, and what he actually said in one of the Telegram posts is that since 2016, it has always been Lightning Network would be complete in 18 months. And look guys, some of the detractors of Bitcoin and Lightning Network, they often say that Lightning Network is lightning years away from mainstream adoption. So let's see guys, if the narrative Lightning Network not blockchain does turn out to be fruitful, or does it change? Now what I want to do next guys is, I want to go ahead and touch base on use cases of Lightning Network, because look guys, as I mentioned earlier, there's this narrative that Lightning Network, not blockchain, is the biggest innovation. Let me know guys, what are your thoughts regarding this? Now what I want to do next guys is, I want to go ahead and touch base on use cases of Lightning Network. Now one of the most promising use case of Lightning Network is microtransactions, isn't it? Because Lightning Network guys, they enable small payments that were previously impractical due to high fees and extremely slow processing times. Now when you talk about microtransactions with Lightning Network, let me go ahead and touch base on just two areas guys. That is digital content and gaming. Now so far as digital content is concerned, Lightning Network can revolutionize the digital content industry, and it can do that by enabling new business model based on microtransactions. Now with Lightning Network guys, we can do pay-per-use, or we can do micro-tipping as well. Now so far as pay-per-use is concerned, how this would work is, users can pay for only content they consume, whether it is articles, videos or music, and this model guys is particularly beneficial for creators, allowing them to monetize their work more effectively. Now look guys, so far as podcasting is concerned, you should know what podcasting 2.0 is all about, and there is an app called as Fountain, so please feel free to go and check it out, where listeners guys can go and donate Bitcoin only based on what you listen to. Now apart from that guys, there is also micro tipping, and content creators can receive small tips from the audience, incentivizing high quality content and direct support from fans. Now look guys, when Elon Musk took over Twitter, there was a lot of anticipation from the Bitcoin maximalist community that he might actually go and implement Lightning Network. Unfortunately guys, he didn't do that, but look guys, so far as Twitter is concerned, you can go and implement Lightning Network, and it would be much more easier to do micro tipping. Now so far as gaming is concerned, in the gaming industry guys, Lightning Network can enable instant and low transaction cost for in-game purchases and microtransactions. Now so far as in-game purchases is concerned, players can buy virtual goods and even assets instantly without waiting for transaction confirmation. And so far as reward systems is concerned guys, games can implement real-time reward systems where players earn small amount of Bitcoin for achievements or milestones. Now look guys, so far as microtransactions are concerned, I'm pretty much sure it is applicable to different industries as well, isn't it? Now let me go ahead and touch base on the second use case, and that is to do with remittances. Now look guys, some of the features of using Lightning Network is lower fees, cost-effective and access to financial services, isn't it? And Lightning Network can significantly improve the remittance process, making it faster and cheaper to send money across borders. Now traditional remittance services often charge high fees, making it extremely expensive to send money internationally. Now so far as Lightning Network is concerned, low transaction fees can drastically reduce the cost of remittances, allowing more money to reach the recipient, and Lightning Network guys can provide access to financial services for the unbanked and also for the underbanked population, thereby enabling them to send and receive money easily. Now one of the features of using Lightning Network guys is faster transactions as well. Now traditional remittance services can take several days to process transactions, often causing delays for participants, but Lightning Network guys are instant payments, isn't it? Because Lightning Network enables instant payments, and they ensure that recipients receive the money more quickly and efficiently, and this results in improved cash flow. Now faster transactions guys can improve cash flow for families relying on remittances for their daily needs. Now let me go ahead and discuss guys how we can use Lightning Network for everyday payments. The Lightning Network can be used for everyday payments, making it a practical solution for merchants and consumers alike. So when we talk about retail and e-commerce, retailers and online stores can benefit from Lightning Network's fast and low transaction cost, and customers can pay instantly, thereby reducing the time spent on checkout and improving the shopping experience. The Lightning Network's low transaction fees guys can save merchants money, thereby allowing them to offer more competitive prices. Now this could eventually lead to more merchant adoption, isn't it? Now for Lightning Network to achieve widespread adoption, guys, more merchants need to accept it as a payment method. Now integrating Lightning Network into existing point of sale systems make it easier for merchants to accept Lightning Network payments, and this is kind of like an incentive for merchants, isn't it? And offering incentives such as lower fees or faster settlements can actually encourage more merchants to adopt Lightning Network. But look, so far as the adoption of Lightning Network is concerned, you always need to remember Lightning Network is light years away from mainstream adoption, and David Marcus, guys, who's the CEO of Lightspark, he's openly said that implementing Lightning Networks onto system is much more difficult than he anticipated, and CZ, guys, a former CEO and founder of Binance, he also echoed a similar theme. So look, guys, despite its benefits, Lightning Network getting adopted by merchants is still a significant challenge, isn't it? Now let me go ahead and touch base on Lightning Network's use case in innovative financial services, because Lightning Network, guys, also enables a new financial service that was not possible before. Now let me go ahead and touch base on three areas, guys, that is streaming money, pay as you go, and also subscriptions. Now regarding streaming money, guys, Lightning Network supports the concept of streaming money, where payments can be made in real time or over a period of time. Now so far as pay as you go is concerned, services like internet access, cloud storage, or media streaming can charge users based on actual usage rather than fixed fees. Now so far as subscription services is concerned, subscriptions can be paid in real time, with users paying for only the time they use as a service. Now with reference to subscriptions, guys, what I'd really recommend you to do is, there is an app called Strike, which is being founded by Jack Mollers. If you actually go through his website, he clearly explains how you can use subscriptions with Lightning Network. Definitely a brilliant concept in my opinion. Now let me go ahead and touch base on how decentralized exchanges can be benefited by Lightning Network as well, because Lightning Network can be used to facilitate decentralized exchanges where users can trade cryptocurrencies without relying on centralized platform. And that is possible because Lightning Network supports atomic swaps, allowing users to exchange different cryptocurrencies instantly and securely. And this makes peer-to-peer trading so much easier, isn't it? Where users can trade directly with each other, thereby reducing reliance on centralized exchanges and lowering trading fees. Now let me go ahead and touch base on some case studies and examples where Lightning Network has been implemented. And I'd like to touch base on three things, guys. The first one is Fold app, the second one is Bitfill, and the third one is Blue Wallet. Now so far as Fold app is concerned, Fold is a popular app that allows users to earn Bitcoin rewards in everyday purchases, and they do that by integrating Lightning Network. And Fold, guys, it enables instant payout and microtransactions as well, and they also have a reward program where users can earn Bitcoin for shopping at their favorite stores, and Lightning Network ensures that rewards are paid out instantly with minimal fees. Now so far as Bitrefill is concerned, it is essentially a service that lets users buy gift cards with Bitcoin. They've integrated Lightning Network to offer fast and low transaction cost. You can also purchase gift card as well, where users can buy gift cards for popular retailers using Bitcoin over Lightning Network, thereby enjoying instant delivery and low fees. Now so far as Blue Wallet is concerned, guys, Blue Wallet is a Bitcoin wallet built with Lightning Network support, making it easier for users to make and receive Lightning Network payments. Now Blue Wallet, guys, simplifies the process of using Lightning Network, making it accessible for non-technical users as well. And users can open and manage channels, send and receive payments, and benefit from Lightning Network speed and low cost. Now look, guys, all this thing being said, Lightning Network may sound great, but there are potential challenges and negative aspects to Lightning Network. And as I mentioned earlier, guys, Lightning Network is always lighting years away from mainstream adoption. Now look, Lightning Network faces several challenges and potential negatives, so let me go ahead and touch base on some of them, guys. The first one is liquidity management, the second one is routing efficiency, the next one is interoperability, and finally, guys, let me touch base on user experience, because look, guys, it's all about user experience, isn't it? And now, truth be told, guys, using Lightning Network, at least for now, is definitely not easy. Now, so far as liquidity management is concerned, effective liquidity management is crucial for smooth functioning of the network, and ensuring that channels have sufficient funds to go ahead and facilitate transaction is still a constant challenge. Now, some nodes, guys, over a period of time may become central routing hubs as well, potentially leading to centralization risk. And so far as routing efficiency is concerned, guys, finding efficient routing paths for payments is vital for network performance, and improving pathfinding algorithms to ensure reliable and fast transaction is still a challenge at this point of time. And managing network congestion and ensuring scalability as the network grows is still an absolutely massive task, considering the fact, guys, you also have ordinal inscriptions, runes, and who should say we might be having new things implemented on Bitcoin blockchain as well. Now, so far as interoperability is concerned, guys, ensuring that Lightning Network works seamlessly with other networks and platforms is essential. Now look at some of the developers of Lightning Network. They are making it possible to use Lightning Network with Ethereum blockchain and other blockchain protocols as well, but developing solutions for cross-chain transactions and interoperability with other blockchain network is still an absolutely massive problem, and there needs to be standardization in places in it, and creating standardized protocols and interfaces to go and facilitate integration with various platforms and services is probably the only solution, and it might take a much longer time than anticipated. Now look, so far as user experience is concerned, me personally, I've used Lightning Network, and I hate saying this, guys, the user experience is not that great. You always need to compare it with fiat currency, guys. Now look, just replicating the same user experience with what you experience will not cut it. In order to get a lot of people using it, the new user experience, guys, cannot just replicate what we are currently experiencing. The new user experience has to be 10 times better than what we are doing, or else, guys, people are just not going to go out and use it. And improving the user experience is crucial for widespread adoption of Lightning Network. Now, the technical complexity of Lightning Network, guys, can definitely be a barrier for non-technical users, and developing easy-to-use wallets and applications that cater to non-technical users is extremely essential. So look, guys, we've touched base on microtransactions, remittances, everyday payments, innovative financial services, and we've also touched base on real-world examples, isn't it? So let me know, guys, what are your thoughts regarding Lightning Network? Are you an advocate of Lightning Network, or are you a detractor? Me, to be honest, guys, I'm somewhere in the middle. I really am hoping Lightning Network does get mainstream adoption, but only time will tell, I guess. Now what I want to do next, guys, is I want to go ahead and touch base on the future of Lightning Network, and I'll go ahead and discuss the ongoing developments, potential challenges, and how Lightning Network could shape the future of digital currencies. Now look, as the Lightning Network is constantly evolving, with developers and researchers all around the world working to improve functionality and security. So let's go ahead and explore some of the key developments of as Lightning Network is concerned. And one of the development, guys, is automatic multi-path payment, also called as AMP. Now AMP, guys, allows a single payment to be split into multiple smaller payments, which are sent through different paths in the network and then reassembled at the recipient's end. And by splitting the payments, guys, AMP, automatic multi-path payments, increases the chances of finding a viable path through the network, thereby reducing the likelihood of payment failures. And AMP, guys, also enhances privacy by making it harder to trace a payment, because what happens is each smaller payment takes a completely different route. Now there is also something called as dual funded channel, guys, and dual funded channels allow both parties to contribute funds when opening a channel rather than just one party, and this, guys, increases the liquidity available in the chain from the start, making it more versatile and useful for transactions. And guys, what happens is because of this, it helps maintain a balanced channel, reducing the need for rebalancing and making the network more efficient. Now there's also something called a splicing, guys, and splicing allows for dynamic channel funding adjustments without closing the channel, where users can add or even withdraw funds from a channel while keeping it open, thereby improving flexibility and usability. Now this, guys, drastically reduces the downtime and also transaction fees that are associated with opening and closing channel. Now look, guys, I did touch base on watchtowers and enhanced security, isn't it? The continuous development of watchtowers and other security measures are extremely essential for Lightning Network, and enhanced watchtowers can provide better monitoring and fraud prevention, thereby protecting users from potential attack. An increasing number of watchtowers and encouraging decentralized security solutions can actually enhance the overall robustness of the network. Now all this thing being said, guys, there are still potential challenges and solutions, isn't it? And while Lightning Network holds great promise, it also faces several challenges that need to be addressed to ensure its long-term success. So let me go ahead and touch base on some points, guys. Now the first thing I'd like to address is liquidity management. And effective liquidity management is crucial for the smooth functioning of the network, isn't it? And developing automated liquidity management solution can definitely help maintain balanced channels and improve network efficiency. Now the second point, guys, is regarding liquidity pool, and creating shared liquidity pools can provide a reserve for channels, thereby ensuring they have sufficient funds to facilitate transaction. Now look, guys, what about network congestion? Because we need to remember, guys, as the network grows, managing congestion and ensuring scalability is extremely vital, and research and development of new scalable solutions such as AMP and splicing can definitely help manage congestion, and improving pathfinding algorithms and developing more efficient routing protocols can enhance the network's performance. And what about interoperability, guys? Ensuring Lightning networks work seamlessly with other networks and platforms is extremely essential for widespread adoption, isn't it? And developing solutions for cross-chain transactions and also interoperability with other blockchain networks can expand the use cases of Lightning Network, and this is where standardization kicks in, isn't it? And creating standardized protocols and interfaces can facilitate integration with various platforms and services, thereby making Lightning Network more versatile and accessible. Now look, guys, at the end of the day, it is all about user experiences in it, and improving the user experience is crucial for widespread adoption, and developing user-friendly wallets and applications that cater to non-technical users can make Lightning Network more accessible. And what I do feel, guys, is education is probably the most important thing so far as Lightning Network is concerned, because look, guys, a lot of people I interact with, they are not even aware of what Lightning Network is, and I very strongly feel providing educational resources and support can help users to understand and use Lightning Network effectively. Now let me go ahead and touch base on the future impact of Lightning Network, guys, because the Lightning Network has the potential to revolutionize digital transaction, offering fast, low cost and scalable solution. So let me go ahead and share some points, guys, on how Lightning Network could shape the future, and I want to touch base on global microtransaction economy, financial inclusion, decentralized finance integration, merchant adoption and everyday use. So let me know, guys, if you do have any points to add regarding this. Now, so far as global microtransaction economy is concerned, I very strongly feel, guys, that Lightning Network could enable a global microtransaction economy, allowing for a new business model and revenue streams, and creators can monetize digital content through microtransactions, receiving direct support from the audience, and services like streaming, cloud computing, and even IoT can implement pay-as-you-go models where they can charge users based on the actual usage. Now, so far as financial inclusion is concerned, guys, Lightning Network can improve financial inclusion by providing low-cost, instant financial services to undeserved population. Now look, as when El Salvador made Bitcoin a legal tender, the correct terminology should have been that they implemented Lightning Network, and they did that using Stripe, and the app, I believe, guys, was Chivos in it. And so far as financial inclusion is concerned, guys, by lowering the cost of remittances, it can actually help individuals and families in developing countries, improving their financial stability, isn't it? And they can also offer access to banking services, and Lightning Network can provide access to basic banking service for the unbanked and underbanked, thereby fostering economic growth and development. Now, so far as DeFi, decentralized finance integration is concerned, integrating Lightning Network with DeFi platforms can enhance the capabilities and reach of decentralized financial services, because look, guys, Lightning Network can enable instant settlements of DeFi transactions, thereby improving efficiency and user experience, and seamless integration with various DeFi platforms can actually expand the ecosystem and offer more opportunities for users. Now look, guys, what I do feel is probably the most important thing is merchant adoption and everyday use, and as more merchants adopt Lightning Network, guys, it can definitely become a practical solution for everyday payments, and Lightning Network's fast and low-cost transactions can improve the shopping experience for customers, thereby reducing fees for merchants, isn't it? And I do feel, guys, that so far as point-of-sale systems is concerned, by integrating Lightning Network into point-of-sale systems, it can actually make it easier for merchants to accept Lightning Network, and that would lead to wider adoption, isn't it? So look, guys, so far as Lightning Network is concerned, the potential and use case is absolutely limitless, and according to me, guys, Lightning Network holds immense promise. As it continues to evolve, it can definitely revolutionize the way we conduct transactions, making them faster, cheaper, and more accessible. So let me know, guys, what are your thoughts regarding this? Are you an advocate of Lightning Network yet, or are you still a detractor? And that, guys, brings us to the end of today's episode. We have covered quite a lot of ground regarding Lightning Network, isn't it? From the basics of what Lightning Network is and why it was created. We also touched base on the intricate details of payment channels, and we also took a deep dive into hash time lock contracts. We discussed how payment channels allow for multi-off-chain transactions, thereby reducing the load of Bitcoin blockchain, and how HTLCs, that is hash time lock contracts, ensure the security and efficiency of these transactions. In this episode, guys, we also explore the overall architecture of Lightning Network, examining how nodes operate and interact to maintain the network's efficiency and security. Now look, guys, understanding these components is extremely crucial for grasping how Lightning Network can scale Bitcoin to support more users and transactions without compromising on speed or cost. And in this episode, guys, we also took a deep dive into real-world application and current implementation of Lightning Network, isn't it? Now look, guys, this technology is already making waves by facilitating microtransactions and other use cases requiring fast, low-cost transfers, and these applications highlight the practical benefits and transformative potential of the Lightning Network in the growing digital economy. Now look, as that thing being said, there's this notion that Lightning Network is lightning years away from mainstream adoption, so we also discussed the challenges facing Lightning Network and also touch base on its future prospects. Now, these insights, guys, provide a well-rounded view of both the current state as well as the potential evolution of its technology. So I really hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I'm hoping it has provided you with a clear and thorough understanding of Lightning Network and its role in the Bitcoin ecosystem. Now remember, guys, the world of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies is always evolving, so staying informed is key to navigating its success. So thank you guys for listening to this particular episode. Please subscribe to this channel, give it a 5-star rating and share the word across. And if you do have any feedback or suggestion, guys, mention them in the comments below. And thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.